bioprinting, bioprinting, or you can say bioink also. If the question is on bioink, if the question is on bioprinting, if the question is on 3D bioprinting, the concept is the same. Okay, that is what I will be using the word bioprinting. So I have started bioprinting. What is bioprinting? It's actually 3D printing of how can we save the person affected from chemical gas immediately. See, one very simple formula which I can share from my personal experience of Bhopal gas tragedy, how we were saved. In that case, you do one thing. If the conditions are a bit chilly, take a cloth, put it in water, and put it around your nose. Okay, what will happen? That, and obviously for this you don't have to do any act. Every home will have a cloth. There will be water as well. The gas, the moment it will come in contact with wet, cold piece of cloth, it will convert it into liquid. And obviously, we won't be inhaling it. That's how, obviously, this is the easiest formula of doing it. And this is how, similarly, nuclear radiation also. The first thing, obviously, say for example, you are a DM in Tirunelveli Valley, Tamil Nadu, where these reactors are. The first thing needs to be done. The clothes of that person should be immediately removed. And obviously put as much water on the body of that person as possible. Obviously not as possible, means a sufficient quantity of water so that these things should be rinsed down. Okay. Obviously, even in chemical and nuclear will always be more harmful than the chemical. But the thing is, in chemical, it will be immediate poisoning effect. Whereas in case of nuclear, it will be damage to the cells and tissues, and that those damages will be having, obviously they will be evident after some time. So this is how biological weapon, obviously nothing could be done. Nothing could be done because they are simply causing the infection. Fine. I hope Srinagar you got the answer. Okay. So.
Are they going to just affect only this acetylcholinergic neuron? Because I think I read somewhere that.
What's the question?
BX, are they going to affect only this cholinergic neuron?
Mostly, rather I will say all, almost all the time. Okay, that's the case. Now, shall we? Good. Bioprinting. See, bioprinting recently, like there was a person had a burn injuries. So what they did, they created an artificial medium, and that artificial medium, obviously one part of that was taken from seaweed, that was a natural polymer, and the other was artificial polymer. These things were performing two jobs. The artificial one was providing the support, base, foundation, scaffold. Scaffold means holding the things in their place. Like these things are scaffolds, holding it in the air so that the roof is not falling down. And that the natural one was providing the cell with the nutrients. Okay, how it is 3D printing? What is 3D printing? In 3D printing, obviously, which is also known as additive manufacturing, what they do actually, they had a design, okay, on a computer, and obviously as per that design, they manufacture that object. Okay, that is simple 3D printing. Like say for example, I want a remote which should be triangular. Then what I should do, I should have a design of that remote. There will be a printer, not HP 1020, will be something else. And that will be having a special type of material. And then you can start Control P, and layer by layer, the material will come out. That is how 3D printing is done. But here, don't imagine, for God's sake, that from printer the tissues are coming out. We have not reached that level of science as of now. In that case, the printer, just listen, the printer will release these polymers. And within these polymers, there will be natural cells which were embedded. And these cells will not be created in the lab. These cells will be taken from the person. And these cells we call as stem cells. Stem cells, all of you know, they are unspecialized cells capable of forming all the cells of the body. That's what we call as pluripotent cells. Pluripotent means capability to form all types of cells of the body. So what is embedded in that? In that they have embedded those stem cells. And these stem cells will then form the required cell. Later on, obviously, once a layer is there, like just imagine a layer of stem cell. This is scaffolding. Okay. Then obviously a layer of natural polymer providing nutrients. Then a layer of stem cells. Then obviously these stem cells forming the particular cell you want. After that they will disappear. Then another layer of those polymers and all, followed by another layer of stem cells. All the stem cells looking to form a particular tissue you want. Later on, that artificial polymer will be removed. Okay, the natural polymer will be exhausted because it has provided the energy. It is very much like carbohydrates, glucose used by our body and gone. And obviously, once you remove that scaffolding part, you have got a particular tissue with you, and that is what we call as bioprinting. Is this clear? Bioprinting, obviously, this is bio 3D printing, and that material, I will repeat it, that material has been named as Bioink. Okay, so Bioink was in use, but what's the purpose of Bioink? The Bioink purpose is to carry out bio 3D printing. Where it has been used, I will give you specific uses of 3D printing as well in medical sciences in case they ask. Obviously, first, there was a person with burn injuries, obviously severe burn injuries. So obviously in most of the cases, they go for plastic surgery and all that. But it has its own limitations most of the time. So what they did, they took the stem cells from the body of that patient and that they made a layer of skin cells. And then obviously they pasted it on the face or where the injury was. That is it. And other case, they have made a layer of kidney cells by using it. Only layer, not entire kidney. The aspiration is to have entire kidney. Because the problem with cloning is that obviously there are so many ethical issues which are involved over there. Okay. And obviously recently they came up, we have this thing, trachea. In trachea, there are multiple rings. Yes, all the people are having it. So they have been able, in successful, one ring of this trachea by this particular process. That's why it was in years. So Bioink, again, just be relaxed. Two parts. Natural polymer taken from seaweed. What its role? Nutrient. Natural, no? Artificial, obviously, that is sacrificial. Sacrificial means after some time we will throw it. That's the sacrificial, isn't it? It is just providing that scaffolding. Scaffolding means that mechanical support. Because it's not growing in natural environment, you're doing it in the lab. Fine. So then in that layer, there was a type of cell which were embedded, and that cell we call as what? Stem cells. So Bioink will use only what? Stem cells. What is the property of stem cells? Unspecialized cells capable of forming all the cells of the body. Then what this pattern will be followed again, those polymers again embedded with stem cells. What will happen when these will be forming the layer of cells? You would like them to connect with each other. Then only three-dimensional tissue you will be having, isn't it? For that you need to remove those which are in between, and that is what the scaffolding part is removed. Natural polymer is consumed. That is what we call as bioprinting or bio 3D printing. Okay, normal 3D printing is known as additive manufacturing. Okay, is it okay? Fine.